Hello, everybody. Welcome to Exodus After Dark. Here alongside me is Red Knight,
Sup?
Jerry.
Hello.
I'm skipping over Monster because he's gonna do some stupid shit. Kylus,
Hi.
Nova,
Hello.
and Spongy. And this is Spongy's first time on the podcast because he decided to not show up on the first
Introduce yourself, bud.
I'm a captain of Wisdom Academy.
How do you know
Exodus
us?
standards, buddy.
Exodus standards.
Yes.
I got picked up in the 5th week of Flux Cup and got benched for a while and then became a starter.
That is.
He
more or
plays
less
hit
the truth,
scan.
yeah.
because
Yeah.
of the hashtag Don't Sleep on the
He was our
Sponge.
hit
Wait, I don't remember talking about myself.
You
You
did.
did that
I
last
don't-
week.
I
This
did?
Yes.
Oh
I thought
my
I was
You
God.
had
AFK.
AFK for the first part.
No,
And then you
did
came
it
back
after
and we
when you came
introduced you
back.
for you.
Well, that's not fair.
Yes, it is.
So
I'm
we just let's
offended.
talk about it.
Here, I'll do it
Good.
for you again. He was the bench.
No,
main
okay,
tank.
that's not. Oh,
I like that one. I like that intro.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get into it. It is 10:44 EST. Expert is like wrapping up if it isn't, but we don't talk about expert. We're gonna talk about novice.
Expert
Easy
is
clap.
the bitch
Export.
hoes.
All right. So Spongy, you may or may not have played in game just a little bit
Yeah.
today.
May or may not have.
Just
Yeah,
for a bit.
Renata. I
How-
mean,
how-
just
how'd that go? How'd that go? Like Wisdom, who would you play against?
Too long.
SBC?
yeah,
Too long.
only
Bro.
27 minutes.
Okay, so for those who don't know, yeah, 27 minutes actual match time. Wrapped up the actual like in real time watching it like in under an hour. As in, I watched it on my
No, it was-
flight. Hold on, I watched it on my flight on airplane Wi-Fi from Cleveland to Chicago. That's a 44-minute flight. The whole match finished up in under 44 minutes.
Yeah, that's including all the, because we would spend 5 minutes after
Yeah.
every single map.
Yeah, 27 actual game time, and like with everything else, I mean, so like I don't know who watched it besides me.
I wasn't
Well-
able to.
We were in
How many
scrims.
people had
I watched the
it?
interview.
Yeah, all right, that's good. That's good at least. I didn't watch the interview
Yeah.
actually.
I don't watch
I
the interview
wasn't
yet
able to
either.
watch much novice-wise. I watched almost all of Enter.
I watched the ending of the Edinburgh and
One trick. I watched that too. That was
All
a
right,
good game.
well,
and then the
we'll
ending
talk about
of the other game that happened.
the other game. Okay, so we'll talk about Edinburgh and Hyperflex Geo
One
and
trick.
all that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this game really quickly though.
Yes.
So the thing that bothered me about this game is I actually think because I think SBC actually played better than they played last week by
Yeah.
a lot. By a lot. Like I actually think I think if this SBC team played against
Hyperflex, they would have
Hyperflex
won.
this week, they would have won in a 3-2 or a 3-1 actually. I think it was
Yeah.
that much improvement.
That's fair.
It's just
'cause,
they
like-
ran into Wisdom.
Well, yeah, like it sucks, right? Because like it's hard to explain. So like when you're tanking and you're at this level, you know, you can do a ton because focus fire sucks. Wisdom focus
Yeah.
fire for novice level is really good. And also Minimax is a very different tank than he was when he got picked up.
Yeah.
And then of course Zorthcon's crazy. So like
Mhm.
I feel bad almost, right? Because I think people are gonna now say I think SBC is gonna be on bottom of everyone's power rankings, and I think in
Yeah.
all reality they're in the upswing and they're actually about to like who do they play next week? They play
They play. I think they play Ian.
okay that actually could be hard. That kind of sucks. I was hoping they played against OTW. To be honest,
Yeah. OTW choked today.
OTW did choke today. Actually, yeah. So, like, who watched? Like, how did that end? Because, like, I just know it
I
went to
watched
6 maps.
it end. Well, I watched a bit of it like earlier. I know that they drawed a map. Like they drawed. So basically, OTW won first 2 maps, and Monarchs won the 3rd map, and then they drawed, and then the Monarchs won all the rest of the maps.
Who's the main tank? What's the main tank situation for OTW now? Who's their MT?
I think it's Big Hoot,
yeah, it was Big Hoot.
Big Hoot, and then who's off tanking? Blue Jay still?
Blue Jay. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what to make of OTW. I really don't. I
Well,
feel like they're
Eagle-
not good.
Eagle was in on DPS this time,
Oh, that helps.
and I'm pretty sure Goose, like, he left then. He
Yeah,
left.
it was actually a funny story. Goose left because he got a tier 2 paladins offer.
You did not.
Yeah, he got an offer for tier 2 paladins.
What game? What?
Paladins.
Paladins.
No, I know. I'm memeing, guys. I'm
Yeah.
Say cheese.
Anyway, so interesting off the Goose left. I mean, his ego is
Esports ready game.
massive. Honestly, esports ready game. Truer, dude.
Bro.
I feel like OTW gets better for that. But
Yeah.
here's what's weird. Like, I never had OTW that high in my rankings. Is like Wisdom really that much better than the rest of the league? That like OTW
Yes.
and
Mhm.
Edinburgh. Is it really
Yes.
that bad? Like
Yeah.
Yes.
some
Yeah.
At least from what's been shown so far, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna stay that way for a
I
while.
think a
Edinburgh-
20. I think
Edinburgh
a
is
27-minute game is pretty convincing.
I
Edinburgh.
agree. Yeah.
Edinburgh is right now. I would say my rankings are Wisdom, Geo with SCA. That is.
Let's talk about the other
and
games first.
Gotta.
Oh yeah, let's finish the other games
Yeah.
before we get into rankings for people.
Yeah.
So then we can talk about Geo and Hyperflex, but from what I understand, it was literally Geo ran something resembling meta, and Hyperflex didn't and got rolled.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
I wasn't able to watch that game, Scrims.
I heard there was a herping
watch that.
MT that was happening.
That did happen. I know that happened. Yes.
What main tank was he playing?
Prop.
I don't know. I
I
can't
don't
watch
know.
All
I
I'm
have
gonna
to
say
watch
there's
the
probably
VOD.
a reason why it's a meme. So
Yikes!
Yikes.
True though.
Monch, you
Sorry.
were literally just spraying water on yourself. I don't think you can talk about being.
yes, because I can verify it's
He would know.
who dealt it smelt it, you know.
So like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it sounds like it was close to a speed run too. Like Geo and Hyperflex sounded like it was pretty quick from everything I heard about it.
I'm not.
No, I think it was longer than. It wasn't
I'm
like
not
a
saying
speed
it was.
run.
It wasn't a
was-
speed run.
It
I
wasn't
could
a
check,
speed
hold
run.
on.
I don't think it was a speed run. I think it was just like it wasn't like speed run, but it was just still like dominance, but
Yeah.
not like it was
What
just
I've
like
been
a 3-0.
told, they put up a fight somewhat, but it was still
Yeah.
pretty dominant on Geo.
Okay, the actual like I think it was pretty like fast because the actual stream was an hour and 10 minutes long.
Yeah, that's like barely longer than the stream that was. That's like
Yeah,
oh,
it was
no, that's
15
still
minutes
no,
more.
that's like another 25 minutes longer.
Yeah.
So
We
that
sure?
probably is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would be like another 15 minutes in
Well,
game time probably.
Well, here's the thing. Wisdom's game was an hour long.
Yeah.
No, I
So
know.
it's not-
That's the vibe.
The VOD's an hour long. That's why I'm saying like
Oh,
hour
it's not.
10
Oh.
translates to like. Well, actually, no. I think that probably means they probably finished sub 32.
Yeah.
Spongy. So it's probably another speed run, to be honest.
It could be. I'd have to watch it back to see.
I don't see how it's not.
Yeah.
I think anything under an hour is technically a speedrun TBH unless it's like 55 minutes. Anything less than 50 is a speedrun in IMO.
Yeah.
And like
But I'm
match
just saying
time.
it's not like a hardcore speed run.
I'd say anything less than 40.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
that's fair.
So I mean, so really, if we're like, okay, all right, and we're gonna quickly, okay, so we've talked about kind of all three games roughly. We talked a little bit more in depth. We should just talk about ranking real quick because like novice is weird to me right now. It's not
We'll go
so-
one at a time for the people who want to make a deal.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna talk about it. Like
Yeah, you're good.
the thing that's weird this season is it feels like Wisdom is way stronger than everybody else. Like,
Mhm.
like, and I played on Wisdom the first time, and like we were stronger than everybody else for the regular season, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
Geo was the one who went on a 9-0 map run before they ran into us, and then we beat them. Right? Like we had lost like 4 maps, I think, going into that match.
Maps or
so-
games?
Maps.
Okay.
They didn't
So
lose
like,
any
so
games.
we faced each
Not
other. Geo and Wisdom the first season faced each other like week 3 or 4, and like going into that, we had not dropped a match, but had dropped like 2 or 3 maps. Geo had won all of their stuff 3-0 pretty convincingly, and then
That's great.
I wasn't part of, not for a second season 0, so I've got nothing to go off of.
No, I got you. So like, but I have a point I'm getting to, I promise, which is so we played against Geo, and then we established ourselves as top dogs, beating them 3-0. with some pretty epic mauling and people losing their shit. But the thing that was
Fogger.
present the whole time is that it wasn't easy from there on out. Like OTW gave us a run late in the season, and then obviously Geo came back and won in the finals, and like, you know, like we were head and shoulders above a lot of teams, and then Geo just kind of snuck up on us and like, you know, really showed that they were like one of the best teams in the league, the best team in the league. Like right now, every time I look at Wisdom play and I look at everyone else, it's just kind of like, and it's like little things.
Yep.
It's like coordination, disengages, ultimate economy. It's like, it isn't like, I mean, yes, there is obviously Titanic doing Titanic things, but
Yeah.
like it's just everything, right? Like the tank line that was supposed to be meh is like really just dominating everybody else. And it's just, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know what to say about it. It's kind of frustrating.
I think they have the most dominant coaching in probably the whole of Novice, which is, yeah.
So how many coaches do you guys actually have show up to scrim, Spongy? Like, besides Nevin?
Well, so it just depends on like there's like sometimes like in the middle of a scrim, like some coaches will just come for a bit and then like leave, or like, so there's usually like 3, 4, or like 5 maybe.
Jesus.
But you guys do have like a lot of coaches from Marsupial.
Yeah, we have a
Then
lot of
again-
coaches from Marsupial, and then like that are just one-on-one coaches.
Yeah, you've got the most. I'd say you've got the
Yeah.
most and
Yeah.
most effective from
Oh, yeah,
what I've
I'll-
seen coaching so far.
Here, let me 1, 2, 3.
Just like you have these like.
Are you
tap-
just going to
tap-
Marsupil's thing and just counting the coach role?
But you guys like have really talented players like specifically, and then you have players who are getting coached like a bunch and are just like
And the talented
it's
players
it's,
are
it's,
getting
it's
coaching.
just kind of
We have
OP.
12 coaches.
GR.
And no, 13 coaches.
I mean,
13
and then
coaches.
you can count 14 if you count me coaching Mini Max on the side.
You have
Yeah.
a whole
Now
org.
the
That's why I
keyword
counted
is like.
Jemima. I
isn't
counted Jemima, man.
You
He
count
coaches
Jemima
every-
too? Okay.
Yeah, he coaches every novice team. Except for one trick, and that's why they lost.
Okay.
Obviously.
So okay, let's kind of flip the conversation really quickly then. What does specifically Geo and Emberg have to do to close the gap? Because I feel like there's a massive gap between
Comms.
Wisdom and those two. Comms or comps?
Like comms, like if you look at Geo's like I feel like you can kind of tell they haven't really played that much together, because like it's obvious SDA hasn't made that many stuff, or like they haven't been able to do much scrims because of their time difference with everybody.
Yeah.
And it's kind of obvious because like you'll see him focusing different targets in the game.
Yeah,
Like-
I think also too, like, I don't know. So I got to do a Geo internal and help out with that.
Mhm.
And admittedly, they were playing against me and Aqua and D4 and a bunch of people who play Inter or above.
Yeah.
But like, how do I put this?
Bless you.
God bless you.
I don't get the vibe they're being coached on the fundamentals very well, and Wisdom is like a foundational kind of program, right? Like Nevin taught you guys like focus fire,
Yeah.
alt tracking, fight planning, and then that's where everything starts. And then he gave you more complicated things like
Yeah.
pathing, engagement tempo, and so like there's like a building,
Yeah.
there's like a formula to this, right?
Oh, also, we already had people that could all track and like
Okay.
fight plan, like because that's why.
that helps. Yeah, I mean you have some pretty good.
Yeah, I mean you guys have like Geek Ache, Thigh too, like
Bronze Age,
like
I mean,
experienced crazy players, especially Geek. Like I play with her on like another team. Like her comms are like sick. She
That's
has good
true.
comms, like
No,
really good
Geek
comms.
is, Geek is very good. Geek is very good.
you mean
Um,
Bronze
For
Age?
me, it just seems like most of the problems with the big gap between Wisdom and the rest of the teams in the league, it just
Oh.
seems like early season diff.
Yeah.
Because like you guys have, of course, right now have the better coaching and you guys have the better experience and the better comms, but that stuff comes with playing together more and more synergy building. So I think as like the weeks go on, they'll get closer to you, unless
we
they
got
just
coaches.
don't build any.
Unless I think
comms and
we'll
stuff.
keep on developing, like
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
I
will
think
too.
that's
better in
Uh,
comms,
But the,
and then
but the
like,
early
we'll
season
get our
stuff will start to
mid-fight.
go away and such, and then
I'm
get a little closer.
actually gonna
I don't know.
I'm gonna say this because I think it's important. I like what you're saying. I'm gonna say though that if Wisdom is like this now, like Wisdom
Yeah.
synergy is only going to get better, and the reason I say this is because like Wisdom only had one player return from last season. Geo
Yeah.
had 2. SD Awesome and Churd both played
Churd.
on
Geo.
Geo last season. So
They both were on Soar 2, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, so there's a lot of synergy there, right? Like honestly, synergy seems like the weakest area of Wisdom Academy's thing. Like team.
I'm gonna be honest. I use synergy for lack of a better word.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm
Really-
only saying it because it's actually a really good point in retrospect. Because like Geo should be doing better with the synergy they have.
Mhm.
Everyone else is like coming together for the first time for the most part. So
True.
So all right,
Yep.
I'm gonna give you my quick tier list, and then we can move on to Inter because Inter is more fun to talk about. I
Not
think,
like 4
because
tier list.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, we're gonna start at the bottom. Dead last. This is gonna sound controversial to people. I have Hyperflex dead last because I think Hyperflex is too reliant on
Off
their
meta.
off meta picks, and they just don't got coaching that matters. Like nothing that actually amounts to them improving, and their morale is shot. I already know that players are going to look to get off that team just based on what I've heard. Like I can't imagine Hyperflex, you know.
Hey, if
holding
you need
together.
someone, I'm just saying Hyperflex.
They're
I'm
novice,
good.
but
They can
Just
they can
saying.
bump some
It's
numbers.
pretty fitting.
That's fitting. I'm down. I'm down. I'm down.
So
Okay.
is Monster.
It's a
At,
joke.
He's
at,
going
at
down.
five,
Novice.
I have SBC, the good old Seattle Battle Kettle. They really do look a lot better. I wanted to put them over OTW, but I feel like that's not fair to OTW at all, considering the series they just lost today. Like the fact that they went toe to toe the Geo matters a lot. But SBC, I think like the big thing with them is that they're finally kind of figuring out. Like I think me is tilting a lot less, which matters. I think that they're running some comps that make more sense. I feel like the big issue right now is they're getting DPS diffed. But I could be wrong about that. That's just my take at the moment. I feel like if they keep on their path and me keeps his head on his shoulders, they could get a lot better. I still think me is vastly overrated. Because he feeds. Yeah, and that brings me to number 4. 4 is OTW. OTW, I want to place higher on this list, but I really can't because Edinburgh and Geo have both done a really good job, like as much as anyone else. And like OTW just has internal problems that they're still working through. I still am not convinced of the Corb's head coach, and I have a reason for that. I'm not just being a jerk to Corbs because I think he's toxic. I am saying what I believe based purely on the fact that I've watched him do analysis. Like the dude does not explain the game well to other people, and I don't think is actually able to teach his people stuff. I think Geo and Edinburgh can be kind of in the same spot. I think they're interchangeable. I think Edinburgh is only going to get better. I think Geo is kind of plateaued right now, and they're going to need to do a lot of work. And they have a roster that's too good to only be good when SD Awesome's in. So
Yeah.
like the rest of the roster is too good for that. Let me think. I think, and you know, we've already talked at nauseam about Wisdom, so that's kind of like my list. I don't know if anyone has a different list or.
I have a list almost actually exactly the same,
Yeah, same.
but for reasons I'd like to point out.
Yeah. Talk about it. Go for it.
I have Wisdom first, obvious reasons. Then Geo because they're looking really good right now, and then Edinburgh good as well. It's like all the same reasons for the top 4, but my reasoning for putting Hyperflex last is just they don't look like they have much to improve on right now.
Are you saying that
like
you
they
just
don't
think
have
they can improve?
Yeah, like it doesn't look like they've got good grounds to be improving. Like they've got to figure out stuff before they can improve, while SBC is already on the uprise of improving.
Yeah, I think SBC looked I mean, even though they got rolled, I think they looked just.
They looked a lot better than last week.
Yeah, like it looks so.
Only if we played them
much
last
cleaner.
week.
Like they're
could've made it 10 minutes.
improving, and then Hyperflex looks like they're kind of on a flat line right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I also have a tier list if you're done with that.
Yeah, we're done. Go
Okay.
for it. Bud.
Okay, last. I actually like. I think this can change, but I'm definitely putting SBC bottom. I feel like they're very confused. Like, I don't know. I feel like they're confused with like just a lot of things. Like, I think it's obvious they're not that organized and stuff like that. I don't know. I think that can change. I just
The
I
last
don't
two
know.
are very
I don't think.
interchangeable for me.
I
right
think
now, just
Hyperflex
based
is
on
fifth. I think they can drop to last, but I think they seemed like more like they knew what they were doing a little bit more than like SBC, and that's why they just kind of rolled them.
I feel
Um,
like I'm gonna just interject this about Hyperflex. I feel like Hyperflex every time I watch them play is I'm just watching them play comp.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like they rely on like a two like a like their DPS pretty much, and then they just play stupid stuff around them, and I I think that will work against a team that is clueless,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it will work against anyone else because like above the fifth spot, I think it's honestly not horrible. But I put OTW next because of course. I mean, they also seem kind of clueless too, but like they have like a lot more potential. Like
Yeah, that's
obviously
fair.
they took two maps against like Monarchs. I like they seem like that. It seems like they have something. Like they have a lot of potential, but like they're just not like still not coming out. I guess. Yeah, I feel like they chug a lot. I guess. I put Geo next. I don't know what to say much about Geo, but then Monarchs. I feel like
got one trick, I think.
no.
No, he just talked
no,
about that.
Oh,
yeah, I just
okay.
talked to
I'm
one
being
trick.
dumb. Sorry.
Yeah,
You're good. You're good.
I don't know what to say about Geo. Like they seem good, but not better than Monarchs. Monarchs seem like they don't feel like the best at all. Like they feel like nowhere near Wisdom Academy,
Oh,
but they can definitely come. I think they have like they come back from like they reverse swept in like 6 maps in a 6 map series. Like I think they have like I don't think their mentals don't get like boomed easily and stuff like that.
yeah.
And I think they
Yeah, I
get
agree.
they I don't know. I think they have like confidence and stuff.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I think they're like I think legit Edinburgh's like one good coach away, or like
Yeah.
one
True.
good like well,
The
like
thing
I
is,
don't know,
though,
coaching.
I felt
improvement.
bad for Edinburgh because we did warm up scrims against them, and we almost if SD was there versus Geo, we kind of boomed their mentals in the warm up scrims, which I kind of felt bad about, which is what they said, because we scrim against them a lot now,
Mhm.
because they're like basically our best scrim partner right now. Like
I
for
was
the
gonna say
league.
like unless you started scrimming Geo every week, like there literally isn't a better scrim partner.
I don't even think scrimming Geo would be the best scrim partner.
No, I mean they run too much off meta stuff, right?
Do you
Edinburgh's
think?
trying to
Don't
run
you
meta,
think
right?
you should look for like yeah, or not
Oh
but,
yeah,
like
we learn.
teams
Well,
that
the thing
in
is,
the league.
the thing is, we have like a schedule, like when we we'll scrim like sometimes we'll scrim in interleague, sometimes we'll scrim outer league,
Mhm.
sometimes
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
just do internals. Because basically when we're doing internals, it's basically like we're just facing like a super high team.
Yeah, you're facing
Dude,
your coaches, right?
Dude,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
like that's
us,
what we
me
did
and
with warm
Nova.
ups. in the Geo
And
scrim.
Nova and
Me
No,
and
Monster.
Nova.
is no wait. So Monster Nova are on the
They're on the
practice
scrim
squad.
team.
Yeah,
They're on, they're
Yeah.
on,
Can
they're
I
on
get
the
on the
so
practice
easy.
squad?
Gonna
I'm
make
bored.
the big
But, like,
I'm
league.
not gonna lie, it's so easy. It's funny.
But listen, when Navino like DM'd me, I felt like it wasn't too bad for me. He said like, I know you're not on an inter team right now and you want to get on one, so like this is a chance for you to like
Stay in practice.
yeah
Yeah.
keep practicing and like play in these organized environments. And
Yeah.
also, I think it'd be good for our players to play against better people than
Yeah.
normal, which I like the idea for like them, so I went with it.
Yeah,
No,
that's a
dude,
really good
I
idea.
think it's
The
I think it's a good use of your
Listen,
time.
It also
Listen.
felt like really fun, like talking with people, like not like
like
a little lower
acting
than
like
me, I
it's
guess,
your
and like
team.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
Like
Yeah.
it felt
Acting like you're
felt
in an
like
actual game.
Also for a while Blitz was on main tank for a while. And
Sure.
then,
That was
And-
funny. That was funny.
okay. My
Uh,
popped when I went to stall.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Anyone else have
alright.
tier list before
Any-
we move on?
I have a
Uh,
really basic tier list. So I was trying to think of like Battle Cattle or Hyperflex at the bottom. I think it'll be Hyperflex and Battle Cattle just a bit above them. And then I'd do One Trick Wonders. And then I'm thinking I think it might be Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
And then Geo?
And then Geo, yeah. I haven't really. When are they gonna be playing against each other?
Easy. I got ranked on a car. Akronator's
Thank you.
first on hit scan.
Thank you.
LMAO.
You're
All
welcome.
right, so Edinburgh
and
versus
then-
who?
Do any of us know when Edinburgh will be fighting Geo?
I have no idea.
They already played.
they already
Edinburgh won
played.
3-1.
No, but the thing is,
Oh,
their
yeah.
SPO wasn't there, and so I think by end of season, I honestly think that our first match is probably going to be Wisdom Monarchs. So we're probably going to play Monarchs twice in a row, week 5 and week 6, because the last 3 weeks are based on your seedings.
Yeah.
So I think we're probably going to play Monarchs, because I think Monarchs will come in the 2nd seed. Going into week the last 3 weeks. But then so I think we'll beat Monarchs. We'll have to play Monarchs, Geo, and One Trick.
Okay, last
For
tier
this.
list?
I think that's gonna be the.
Well,
Do you-
I'll-
Sven, do you have
do
one?
it.
Wait, I
Geo-
didn't
I'll do a
finish.
tier list.
Oh, I figured.
Okay, we all know the rest of the results. It's
wait, let me just say
the
this like.
second last team,
Oh,
and then Wisdom.
Oh my god.
Let the man finish speaking.
I
Yikes.
was just gonna say
I
Geo
finished-
3. I mean, Geo got 3-0, not 3-1.
Oh,
What? No,
well, I just finished.
Geo got
Broken,
3-1.
so
That's
it's
what
okay.
it says on the official schedule thing.
It does?
Yeah.
I swear they got 3-0'd.
It's fine. Really quickly, and I do mean quickly. Who wants to do predictions for next week for
Oh
novice?
yeah, predictions.
Really
I forgot.
fast? Yeah.
Who's playing?
I'll run through
Jerry.
the matchup. I'll run through the matchups and
No,
then
we'll do
I'll
one
get
match
my
at a time.
prediction. Well, yeah, we'll go one match at a time. So Geo versus OTW.
Geo.
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 3-1.
Yeah, that's
Geo-
fine.
ooh, oh yeah. Hey, wait. Can somebody write
3-0.
down our prediction scores and then like we
Got
can
it.
just keep track of who's
Got
ahead
it.
on win loss on maps and stuff.
Yeah,
I think,
for like.
I think
We're
everybody
trying to
knows
put
what
money down.
Oh wait, no,
Um,
Shin, you do it.
Get the PayPal's. I got you.
I have a controversial one. Geo's on upset alert. I have OTW 3-2.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Matt,
I think
Hold on.
Pog.
Will they have SD?
oh, that's a big question, actually. I hadn't even thought about that. So, like, here's why. I think Corbs is not the greatest coach when it comes to like probably fundamentals. But I think his ability to recognize win conditions is going to be good enough. And here's the reality about Geo. If SD Awesome is in, the game is shut down SD Awesome. All right. If SD Awesome is not in, literally, it's like you can just do your own game plan and just execute it, and you'll be fine. And OTW has the pieces. Like I think OTW has the players to actually win. They just got to clean up some things like their focus fire at the end of fights. I think that will be the biggest difference, and I think that OTW can win a long series against Geo. I mean, they got reverse swept by Edinburgh, but Edinburgh we think is better than Geo or on par with Geo, right? So
Also-
I have OTW 3-2. Or
I
not,
think
yeah,
Geo-
OTW 3-2.
Geo will scrim a lot more now because Alianos has stepped down as manager.
Oh really?
You did.
Yeah, so Church's now their manager.
Is he like a player?
No, he just stepped down.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because I
Church's
don't
now
think
managing.
he could set up much scrims because of time
Yikes.
zones.
Yeah, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a bad read. Maybe this will be 3-0 for.
It's either
Geo,
gonna be a
but
3-0 or 3-1 for Geo, IMO.
So
Wait,
basically,
so is someone
say
keeping
3-2
track of
Geo.
everyone's records?
yeah, I am.
Okay,
Hang on. Let me.
Go
Give me a
around the
second.
room.
Let Shin go.
So
I think that it's gonna be 2-3 Geo. Because of both. I'm basically combining Red's and Kyle's opinions. I think that's gonna be a long game, but I think that Geo has a few more experienced players
mhm.
from what I know so far.
Fair.
So I think that they'll have the mental stamina to get through that 5th map. Because
If
I think that
they-
they're gonna tie it up to 2-2, and then they're gonna have to go to 5th map.
If they don't have SD, I'd say 3-2 Geos. But if they do, 3-1.
No, I think
That's fair.
if Geo that doesn't have SD, I think they lose.
That's
I
kind
think
of been
they-
the MO for Geo. Not gonna lie.
Because it makes sense sometimes by Geo because the SD sets the pace for Geo. Basically, like their tempo.
Yeah.
Well, and they build around
Oh.
it too, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
they
not
build around-
even.
Yeah.
It's not. I think the problem I have with SD and everyone's hyping of SD is not even that SD is bad. Like I don't think SD is bad. I don't think he's good. I think he's like a good enough player for novice. But
Mhm.
like they make him the carry. They put the resources into making SD pop
Yeah.
off. So
No fall.
I'm
Spongy, what do you think the
almost
score is gonna be?
I think it's gonna be 3-1 Geo. If their starters can all make it.
Yeah, 3-1. Anyone else giving a prediction? Mishin and
3-1.
Kyle.
3-2 Geo.
3-1.5 Geo.
Hang
I
on,
don't
one at
know.
a time, please.
So Monster was 3-2 for Geo.
I am going to say 3-2 for pretty much the same reason since I said. Yeah, I think OTW will realize like how they're gonna win, but I think Geo's gonna be prepared to like pocket SD the whole time. So I don't know. I think 3-2 Geo.
Okay.
I
Jerry, your
think
turn.
it'll be 2-0, and they're gonna get really overconfident. So they're gonna put on their
Three?
like other no, it's gonna be 2-0. Then they get overconfident, so they're gonna put on their bench players and stuff, and they're just gonna be like messing around, and they're gonna lose that map. So they just like try hard and they win the next one.
So it's
See,
3-1.
listen, I think that Geo understands that SE, or at least like staff, they understand that SEA is like the reason why they like won against Hyperflex, or like I guess rolled in a way. Like that, they know that's their main win condition. So I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they're gonna, or they're at least not gonna put out like SE or something like that. So I
That's fine.
don't think that will happen. I think it's 3-2.
Okay. All right. Next game we're gonna talk about. These next two should be pretty easy. Edinburgh versus SBC.
I'm
Edinburgh.
saying 3-1
Rio.
Edinburgh.
I'm saying
3-0 for
3-0.
me.
3-0.
3-0
Because
Edinburgh.
I think if
3-0,
SVC
yeah.
has gone this fast, like this fast, like compared to last week, they've already made the steps.
I
to,
just
get
think
better.
that they're
I think if they just keep on getting better and improving, I think they can take a map off Edinburgh.
Yeah, actually, now I think about it, I kind of agree with Spongy. I'm gonna go 3-1 Edinburgh.
That's fair.
See,
I
I
can
still
see
think
them
it's gonna be a
taking one.
3-0 because Edinburgh's still gonna be improving at the same
I think
time.
it's gonna be a 3-0 as well.
Yeah, but
I personally think it's a 3-0 because to me SBC just seems kind of clueless. I feel like they're just confused. Like when they play this, it seems all over the place.
See,
And
I don't know, man. Like they pulled out double shield and it was bad, but not.
I think the reason
bad.
they pulled out double shield is to try to counter our comp.
Yeah,
the meta
I feel
comp.
like they have somewhat brains, but I don't think they like.
They
I
know
don't know.
macro coaches other than me.
I don't know.
So
And I
Red,
think
you're
it's super
3-1.
overrated
I'm
too.
3-1, yeah.
Red is Spongy
I'm
3-1.
3-1.
Everybody else said 3-0.
I'm
Okay.
3-0. Monarchs just seem like mentally and like prepared and
Do
stuff
we
like
really
that.
need to like guess this next one?
What is it?
It's
Oh.
Hyperflex versus
It's a
Wisdom.
3-0 Wisdom
Okay,
all the
here's
way.
the thing. Here's what I think.
I'm gonna
Here's
say-
the
Unless
listen,
they take-
3-2 Hyperflex.
Monster, you're an idiot.
Monster,
just saying.
bruh.
Listen, I think the first map is gonna go to Hyperflex. Okay.
Don't
you
I
guys
say
listen.
no.
Okay, just
Y'all
listen.
are.
I feel
Just-
disrespected.
No, just listen. First is
It's
going
Wisdom
to
Academy,
Hyperflex.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Second one goes to Wisdom. Wait, is the next one? Oh, never mind. The next one's gonna be a tie. The next one's gonna be Wisdom. The next one's gonna be a tie. Then it's gonna be Hyperflex, a tie.
You can't do that
And-
because
okay.
it's control at that point. All right.
Listen,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It
Yeah,
is.
it goes to control.
Oh, true.
So,
Nova, I
So
think
what
you're
do you
just saying
actually
that.
think,
Everybody
Nova?
knows. Everybody.
Yeah, no,
It's gonna be a
actually,
3-0.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right, yeah, 3-0. So
I
like,
think everybody thinks 3-0.
Three-
except
Omega
apparently
Bull.
Monsters predicting.
It was a
3-2.
No,
joke.
it was
It was a
It
joke.
was?
a joke.
It was
Okay.
3-0.
Wait, so I propose a new bet, a new
Oh,
new
Lord, we're not
challenge,
betting
a
on people
challenge.
winning.
No, not a bet, a challenge.
What?
How fast do you think the match timer will be?
Oh.
I don't think they'll top themselves.
No,
I think it's
I don't
gonna be
think,
28 minutes.
No, I don't think it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
think
that.
34.
Red,
Right.
I really
Red,
don't think it's
Red,
gonna
I
be
don't
that
think
fast.
it's not gonna be that short because
We'll go
Red
around the
told
horn.
us that
We'll go
he's
around the
planning
horn.
on playing more bench players.
Okay,
Like you should
Oh,
give
really?
players more time.
Okay.
Red,
So it's not
match
gonna be,
time.
It's not gonna be as much as beating.
Okay, never mind. We don't want to do
Get
that.
Mecca
If
out
ne-
there.
Let's not
No
do it
match
because
time?
they're about to.
Alright, no match time.
No, because they're gonna put bench players in probably.
Like we're
And-
probably gonna have our starters in like at least first 2 maps or like first map at least, and then at least like probably first 2 maps and like probably have starters in first map and then sub in maybe like
Before-
1 or 2 bench players and then just sub in basically most bench.
See,
Like,
let me
bench
say this thing. I feel like your bench players
are
are
still good.
like good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
bench
they
players
have
are
potential of like speedrunning this. if like they're getting the amount of coaching everyone else is getting, and they're still
Well,
like learning macro wise and all this stuff, right?
It's still about playtime too, though.
I
Yeah.
think
I don't
It's
feel
D4.
comfortable. I know D. Wait, what?
He got coached like crazy and didn't play much in the early season and ended up overtaking me at the
Okay.
end.
I
I'm
know,
gonna be
but like
honest.
our team was very, very different.
I know, but that's
than how
still.
Wisdom is.
Can I say something with Nook?
Okay,
Like,
okay.
I love the kid, but he feeds like bad.
Or I say someone else.
No. Listen, when we were in internals and we were actually trying, he would die literally every team fight and be like, "Oh man," and then, we would keep going. Like the kid would just die. It's like I feel bad,
listen,
but like
I don't trust his
he
PC.
constantly got out.
Oh yeah.
He plays on 30
wait.
frames.
He plays on 30. He
Wait,
plays
no.
really good for 30.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
honestly,
what
if that man had an actual
Actual
PC,
PC?
like he might be a
Yeah.
god based on what you're just telling
Yeah.
me. Holy.
Listen, I don't
know.
think he.
I was so surprised. I'm like, holy crap. Because if he played on more frames, he'd be Inter, I think.
Listen, I think.
That's a
We gotta
Not-
go to
not-
Inter.
reach.
We got.
No.
Speaking of Inter, we've
We
talked
have
a
to
lot.
go. We have to go
Wait,
to Inter.
just say this. I think Nuckmore does kind of meme on stuff, and he probably wasn't like. He probably fed a couple times on on accident, but like I think there are definitely times where he just decided to just
Feed.
press E and W at the same time.
Yeah.
Probably. All right.
That's-
So
Inter time.
Enter
Let's-
time.
I haven't watched
Talk
Talk
Inter.
about
about
Mom and
it.
GZG
Dad
and
first. I wanna do
MI6 were
this.
unable to play on the normal match time, and so we will not be going over that game since it has not happened. Smile.
Sag, and also this is like.
We can
kinda
do predictions
G-
for it though.
We
we
can do
can.
predictions. Neither of the teams
I-
will be put in the tier list since we don't have anything to go off of for this.
I mean, I'm probably not even tier listing that much.
I want a tier
Like,
list.
I mean, maybe like it's weird.
We can do tier list of the teams who played, because then
yeah.
you've seen stuff from them.
Well, okay, and I mean, the other thing that's weird is that like Obligation and Capitalism's video only came out like
That game.
literally.
I saw the score and was dumbfounded. I'm gonna
All
be
right,
honest
well,
with you.
actually, this is a great game to talk about. Let's talk
I
about
was
this game.
pleasantly surprised. I didn't want any
happened?
team to like lose all
What
their
happened? Yeah, I
games.
didn't watch it.
Cap won.
Obligation lost 3-2.
Ooh. I
Yeah.
thought
But
Obligation was like.
here's the take I have. Obligation's been overhyped since day one.
Put them
True.
first last week.
Hmm?
You
No, I
did.
didn't.
Yeah.
Check.
You did.
Yes, you
Did I
did.
really put
You
them
put him
first?
like first or second. No,
You
you
put him.
him
You
No,
put
I
him
put
over.
him- I
No,
put-
he put him over double cap.
Should
I
make
did
it tier list
not.
final.
Yeah, you did.
No,
Yeah,
you
no,
did.
I did not.
I'm pretty
Wait,
sure you
what?
did.
No, I did not. That was not me. Check the
You
VOD.
do this all the time.
That's a check-
We can't.
that's a-
Not right now.
that-
Relax.
I am about to check the VOD because there's no
Oh my-
way in hell I put anybody over double cap. I
I
literally
think you
said
did
double
because
cap.
of
No,
their
I'm checking the
something.
VOD now.
It was there was a reason.
He's
Okay, let's
angry now.
actually get into the game though. Let's get into
Okay,
this.
okay. So I actually watched this game. I don't think anyone else has because, like,
It wasn't
I was on a,
streamed.
it wasn't streamed. The VOD just came out. So the takeaway from the game I had was Obligation runs a lot of off meta stuff. Squirrel Ben is really only good in a macro sense on his main hero, which is Hanzo. Like, Squirrel Ben in this VOD flexes to like 8 different heroes, it felt like. He played some Reaper, he played some Widowmaker, he played a lot of different stuff, and it didn't look that great. There were moments he looked really good, but he was playing like a solo style DPS a lot of the time. Pichu, I think Pichu played below her standard. Domination played to his standard, which is that he's never been that great, and he's been the most overhyped tank in the league. Not close.
True. Get
Like,
rolled.
really, like Domination. I really think I don't understand how he's at the top of the tier lists. When you look at his like decision making, he plays like his mechanics are dog. Like his mechanics are actually really good, but like his decision making is so timid. It's so awful. And that was a lot of the game. It was just like Viper and Grasshopper taking turns MTDing a lot of the time.
Grasshopper.
Yeah, and also Capitalism came out with like a better understanding about how to play Shadow Dive or whatever the hell it's called, the Winston Brawl comp. But like it was pretty back and forth. Capitalism, like, so map 1 went to Obligation, map 2 went to Capitalism, and then from there, I'm pretty sure Obligation ended up behind and then came back. But like I was finishing the VOD and I was like trying to cram it before I came here. But basically, the impression I came away with was like Obligation has some massive weaknesses, and they run comps that don't make sense. They ran another Hog Sigma comp and expected that to work
In a game.
in a game. Oh yeah, they've run it on Volsky, and like I think in defense of Obligation, so they had a scrim, like I don't know, 2 weeks ago
First week.
probably. First week, yeah.
Preseason.
Preseason. No, not preseason. It wasn't a preseason.
Was it
scrim.
preseason?
No, no,
I thought
no.
it
It
was
was like
preseason.
it was after week 1, dude.
Oh yeah. It was it was right after week 1.
So it's funny. They had this scrim, and it was against a 3.8 team, right? And it's funny because the person who was coaching the 3.8 team was Nader OW, who is a Twitch streamer who coaches tier 2. So the whole VOD is on Twitch. And they rolled a 3.8 team at different points, but and you can see them believing that their compositions worked. And in reality, the 3.8 team just threw. Like, if you watch the 3.8 team and how they play, like, Nader's about ready to throw his PC at these people. Like, they're playing so bad. But they're 3.8. So Obligation thinks their crap works. And in reality, like, so all that to say, kids, like, you know, actually know whether or not something's working or the opponents are just bad. Like, it's really important.
True.
So,
that's true.
Yeah, so, like, the takeaway from the game was really that it was ugly. It looks like another game that we're going to talk about. Unfortunately, I was in the other one. Yeah, well, I wasn't in. Actually, it's a lie. I wasn't in. I was on the. I was coaching. I was coaching the other
gonna
one.
be a controversial map to talk about.
Pepe laugh.
Pepe laugh.
Sub me in, coach. Sub me in.
But yeah, so like my big takeaway from Obligation and Capitalism is both teams are bad. Obligation's is worse because their like compositions are so constrained by their DPS, and they don't have a good Sombra. Sloth is not a good Sombra. Compared to like other Sombras in the league. #Kilroy. So yeah, like it was just an ugly game. Capitalism ends up winning 3-2. Everyone's surprised because they didn't watch the match. Obligation has a lot of work to do before they get good, and I think the first place it starts with is them stop playing BS comps, and then the next place is get Obligation to grow a pair of balls. Or not Obligation, sorry, Domination to grow a pair of balls. Because he plays too damn timid.
Toxic masculism. SMH.
Balls.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Go.
It's about a
That's
certain.
the only way to describe it.
Wait. No, go.
All right. So that's that game. Did anyone watch DC versus the Bench? Somebody besides me.
Did not.
I didn't
Did
watch
not.
any of the games.
I only
I
watched
mean-
The only one I
your
watched
game.
was mobbing content.
Only
and
watched.
that's a
I only
doozy.
watched your game.
I mean, the bench stayed on the bench. That's all I have to say.
I was gonna say like no, the game was pretty simple.
To
The bench failed.
summarize.
The bench failed to punish double caps.
Double took the bench. That's all I'm saying.
They
did.
stole the
They
bench.
just grabbed the bench and you're like, you know what? You're so bad. You're gonna sit on the floor, my guy.
They dumped
Only
everybody off
sent
of
that
the
bitch
bench.
to a wood chipper.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Basically, like bench fundamentally don't understand how to deal with Kate's Zarya.
Yeah.
And they made a lot of the same mistakes that other teams made.
They also feel really clueless, in my opinion. They just kind of like, just play the game and then they're like, they just maul when they don't like, when they lose.
Yeah, the only map I've ever seen them look confident on and like competent at all is KR. But KR is like everyone memes at me because I've called. I know, like everyone memes at me because I've called KR a solved map. Like all I mean by that is like everyone knows how to play that map. Yeah. Literally the entire universe knows how to play that map, and there's like set positions you take. The rotations are all super easy. Everyone knows how to play the map.
It's a very basic map understanding.
Yeah, so it's solved, right? Like you know what to do with each comp. So yeah, and the bench of course look okay on that, but every other map they look pretty lost.
Banana.
All right, the last game to talk about. I'm gonna let someone else talk about this because
this
I
is
was
about
coaching...
to get.
I'll take this one over.
Oh my god! I didn't. Okay, let me start. I didn't see the first 2 maps. I came in. I'm like, oh, content won a map. Okay, and then I came in.
We
for
came in at the
Rialto.
end of King's Row. We came in at the end of King's Row.
King's Row as it was like swapping over to Rialto.
We watched like the last minute of King's Row, I think.
I didn't. Rialto was a shit show. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It was not good.
Ooh,
We look good on
it didn't.
Rialto.
No,
no,
it did not look good to me.
it
So
didn't. No, that game.
I was looking
It
at
was a
it.
mess
I
from
almost
both
cried
sides.
2 different times from both teams. So they went into. I know that I already talked to you about Jewel a little bit,
Austin.
saying how that they're getting a lot better. But Jewel's DM usage, I literally teared up with how bad it was. Like Kylus can
Yeah.
attest to this. I had
He
my
was
face cam
going
on.
to
I
cry.
literally teared up. Like I was about to cry because of how bad it was.
Sorry.
And
Yeah,
I'm trying to talk here, Jerry and Monster.
they're
But like,
memeing hard. It's fine.
so I legitimately
the
thought I turned on a novice game at first because of how unorganized it was. You may think differently, but from third person, like I
It
know you
looked
were in third person obviously,
horrible.
but like from outside of the org, it looked so unorganized and so sloppy.
And
Like I
okay,
wouldn't it would have been top tier novice, like really top tier novice if it were novice, not like dog shit like Hyperflex, but like it looked pretty fucking unorganized and bad.
so for me, Kurt, I don't know how to pronounce
The
his
Lucio.
name. Oh,
Court.
Rialto. Most of Rialto, he got cut out almost every fight, and I wanted to scream. Like I couldn't, man. I was getting so frustrated because I'm like, I've never seen like him play like bad specifically, but that map looked horrible for him.
What phase?
What?
What phase?
What do you mean? What phase?
1, 2, or 3?
Okay, anyways, moving on.
I
Yeah,
don't know
no.
what you mean.
The
So
whole map. The whole
Can you
map.
not
in the middle-
understand?
The whole map, not
You
just
mean
one
what
point.
point?
The
The
whole
whole
map.
map?
The whole
the
map.
whole map.
See, okay, all right.
Hang on.
All
We're
right,
not
You're
done yet,
biased.
finish.
You are
sir.
biased.
No,
Let us
We
no,
are
finish.
not done
I'm the
yet.
coach. I was yelling at them in between maps. Like, hello? Anyway, keep going. Keep going.
But yeah,
On the
so
plane or no?
in the
No,
middle
not on the plane.
of Street Space for I think it was it was Mob's defense. Phone just started MTDing on Echo against Vantage. I
This
don't
is
understand
true.
why Vantage is overhyped. I don't understand why he typed up at all. Phone, the DPS player who's been playing Reaper for the past however long, picked up Echo, swapped to Reinhardt, and MTD'd the shit out of
Bro.
Vantage every
So,
like
all right,
2 minutes.
wait. Let's give Vantage a little.
No, I'm not giving him any credit. He looked like dog shit.
No,
The only thing that was good was his mechanics, bro.
bro. Okay, so okay. For what it's worth, we kind of agree on that.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, I think it's so dumb for like main tanks to get bullied about like getting quote MTD'd by an Echo.
But he did.
I don't know, bro. Think about
He
it.
did.
Think about it for 1 second. Think about it for 1 second, and think about how dumb that is, right? Because the
Yes, it
reality
is
that-
dumb. That's the
no,
point.
no. Okay, I'm playing
I
a
get what you're
flying
trying to say.
character floating above the battlefield, and then I push a button, magically turn into a main tank, and now there's 2 main tanks for my team. I airdrop from the sky.
The first time I saw him MTD was when their main tank was actually dead. Their main tank died
Yeah,
as soon as he
Sterling
copied.
died.
I'm talking about surprise factor more than anything else.
That's fair. That's actually
right,
fair.
like because you think about it, like, and also you have to remember that the Echo player gets to play with way more aggression than
Ultimate.
the other
Second life.
yeah, right, like, because the worst that will happen is you create a ton of space for your team, and then you trade, and you're out, and then you get all your cooldowns back, and you're in the middle of their team.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Phone even do this at one point where he shatters somebody, and then like right as his ult ends, and then he just gets to throw the stickies onto the shattered target and just kill them. Like,
Oh my god, it's so rough.
It's really weird. Like, MTDing Vantage was a meme. Like, and I mean that. I think there are issues with Vantage's gameplay. I think the part where it's probably good to scrim with your team before you show up and play an actual match. I think that's like a good decision.
I honestly think they would have been
Agree.
better off with Repeat since he was actually at scrim
I
sometimes.
mean, yeah, like I think Repeat might have been might have been a better play. I think in the context, right?
In the context,
I-
yeah.
Like, I think but honestly, I think Rialto looks chaotic, but
Oh, it was a hot
From-
mess.
There was
I
there was
think- I
things
think
going
there's
on
a-
in the
I-
background, but it looked like a hot
I
mess.
think there's like 2 things to keep in mind about Rialto. First point was really bad for us. We didn't defend it well. We ended up getting rolled. We couldn't get second fight, right? And then the way Streets phases work in most of Overwatch is that they're rolls until you get to specific points on the map, right?
Or until you lose a team fight.
No, they're a roll until you get a team fight is what I'm trying to get at,
Oh,
right?
okay,
Because
okay.
you push up, you take space, you have people on split spawns, right? People have ult advantage. Like, you know what I mean? Like, think about KR and how that plays, right?
Mhm.
If the attacking team played well, a lot of times the defending team is going to be stuck waiting until it's at the bend, like the S, right? Around where the pub is.
Yeah.
And it's very, very hard to play it well enough to get to the archway and have a second hold, basically. So I'm saying all this to say that Rialto is like that on steroids, right? Because it's impossible really to hold in front of their spawn because of the way the bridge is and how open the sightlines are.
Mhm.
So then the payload works this way, and you basically your first viable hold is that corner with under the stairs, right? So for us, what ended up happening was streets went poorly, right? It looks chaotic because there's staggers coming in. People aren't people aren't on the same page yet. We're trying to run a very slow composition with a main tank who is very aggressive and silent.
Well, it was
It was
Ryan Diva Echo.
I'm
Wasn't
pretty
it?
sure were we on, I got to double check, but I think
I
the big
remember
thing I'm
Ryan
talking about is
Diva.
we were on Ryan Diva. I'm talking about the part where we had a Mercy for part of that map, didn't we?
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was about to say, if they have a
No,
Ryan
actually,
Diva, y'all
I
should
think we
be in their dick.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, but Diva's just a better we just made the Diva call. I made the Diva call because Diva's just a better like option for the majority of the damage dealers. The
Yeah,
only thing
'cause
she's
literally-
awkward against is Zarya. And even
Literally
then Zarya's not bad.
all the characters that they were talking about were the flying characters, like the Pharah and the Echo, and I was like, dude, like their Pharah and Echo players aren't even that good, and Jewel can play decent enough to where that she can shut them, or she or he, I don't know.
It's a
He?
It's a he.
Okay.
It's a dude. It's a guy.
Jewel can play well enough to shut down the flying characters by literally just pressuring them out. That's how bad their flying characters were.
Yeah.
Can I
And
ask
then
Yeah, no. Ask a question.
Uno
Nova.
momento, por favor.
Oh, okay, never mind. I lied.
And then like I wanted to explain the part of where Jewel wanted to make me cry for a second. It was right around the bend of streets, like after you get past the building, you're bending around. Jewel's DM did not go above red for a straight minute.
Not red. Silent. 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 Right? Because I was on the bench because I was coaching.
No,
Be
like the
silent.
red
No,
bar,
the red
like
bar.
for measuring.
Oh,
I was like, what? And I was like,
You
no.
went silent and we.
Thanks, that's a
I was like, hello?
Red.
I thought you were telling me to be silent. I was
Red
like,
is
the
your
fuck?
name.
No.
Yeah.
It's like
what I was
Nova
saying is-
dumb, bro.
But his
Oh,
his
hush.
matrix literally never went above the red bar for about either 30 seconds to a minute, and I actually just died inside. Like a little piece of me fell away.
Good.
But go ahead, Nova.
Okay, I just want to ask like a question about like Silent Sword.
Mhm.
Like, how does he calm good? And does he have like a good leadership at all?
I think he's fine.
I'm
at
trying
the
to take the
leadership
starting spot.
portion.
No.
I mean, you
No.
have to take it from me again, and with that, we saw how that went the first time.
Okay.
Sorry. The thing about Silent Sword is he's a very good, capable mechanical Reinhardt. Like I think he's actually probably the best mechanical Reinhardt in the league besides maybe Tyler. Yeah,
Right.
probably.
Right. I'm just. He's
I mean, okay,
Rye's
Rye.
okay.
I would
Rye's
put
okay.
like Rye is very good. I'm not trying to take anything away from Rye. I just he's on par with Rye. He's beaten Rye in finals before. I mean, that was a while ago though. It's actually really funny that I'm starting over Silent. It's kind of amusing.
Because
But
you're good at monkey.
I'm
and
good at
comms.
monkey and the
And
comms
big
thing,
brain.
right? So that's what I'm getting at, right? The comms thing. So that's kind of the subject of the question. I'm not gonna sit here and say they're bad because they really are not that bad, especially for the level we're at, especially for it, and especially considering there are teams in this league whose comm structures don't flow through main tank. Okay. The struggle is for Silent on our team is that comms do flow through main tank, right?
True.
So it isn't that it's bad or like his leadership's bad. It's like for our comm structure, our default comm structure, it's not ideal. So
Okay.
I don't want to put that on Silent, if that makes sense, because it's just a playstyle thing, right? I push him all the time that I want him to kind of grow into that eventually, so he can back me up better.
I was just I was asking mainly because then there's always the possibility it could be like maybe he doesn't call much or his leadership isn't that great or something. And with like out that, because I bet you have some okay comms, right?
I mean,
But
it's literally the only reason I start. I'm pretty sure.
but you know, I feel like
Monk.
maybe that leadership and stuff not being there could have been a possibility of why the game wasn't like more
As
of a
clean
roll.
as it could have been.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things going on. So, like, something
That's-
everyone should keep in mind is that the comps we ended up running for a lot of the maps, especially the ones we were winning late, we had not practiced hardly at all.
Yeah, it showed a little bit.
But the engagement structure was pretty good. I think, like, there are a couple adjustments I wish that the team would have made. I apologize. When I said that the comp needed to play slower, it did, but it wasn't because... It was not because of having a Mercy. We had a Lucio, but we also had a Sombra, right? So you kind of have to set when you're playing like the Sombra ball with phone on the oh my gosh
Echo,
thank you.
Flying Lady.
You need to play slower to allow those characters to get value, right? Like a hack, something. You need triggers, right? And Silent, I love him to death, but sometimes he doesn't recognize the triggers correctly. So that was a big issue, and then also he was under a lot of pressure because unlike the other team, unlike us, the other team was running Reaper and Zarya, right? So there was
Yep.
a lot of pressure on Silent Shield, and as we talked about, right, it's not like, and they also had the Echo too, right? So you know, there's a lot of pressure on Silent that was not on Vantage. And Silent still, and Silent still, in my opinion, MTD advantage most of the night.
Yeah, I can agree
Hard
with that.
agree.
And
Hard agree.
I mean that like by things like little things, not even like the flashy like shatters or anything. I'm talking about like space creation, holding space, not dying as much. You know, allowing his other players to do what they need to do. When we messed up, it was a lot of Silent like pressing the W key at the wrong time. Right? Like, that was when we struggled, and that's where a lot of the messiness came from.
Yeah.
Right? Because then that forced cooldowns to try to save Silent, and, you know, these mistakes happen, and, like, you know, it's a match, so I'm coaching. I'm not allowed to, like, call that stuff out in between rounds. So Rialto looked messy, but I promise you the engagement structure was actually pretty okay. It was more like there would be mistakes, and then the fights would get chaotic.
To me, it's from what it seems like, without you in there calming and directing the team, as of right now, your team is really messy looking. Like, it may not be as messy as it looks, but it looks messy.
I mean, then again, they did apparently, according to Red, ran a comp that they haven't practiced that much.
Yeah, that's also part of it.
And,
I'm just saying, like, not having that comp structure is looking not great for you guys.
Okay.
I mean, we're good. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
we
I know.
won. We got there. And I'm back.
Like, I know
so
you'll be fine. I'm just saying that maybe something you want to fix in case you like have to leave again. Because I mean, happens.
It's a work in progress,
Yeah.
right? Like, I
that's
mean,
not
that's
like shade
like
at you. That was just something that I was pointing out.
I think the other thing too that people don't understand is like Content's team is crazy in terms of individual talent.
True.
I think Steady State's really not great, but their support line's crazy. Kiss Shot's very good, and Fangus is acceptable. And Vantage, despite Shinsei's insistence, Vantage is quite good.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, I don't think he's that fantastic. He looks mediocre to me.
I know that Vantage is really good.
Over.
I know that.
IMO.
And he didn't play like near what I thought he could play in that game. So, like, and there can be many reasons for that other than like him just like being stupid and like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's many different factors into that, and it is one game that I do think he's a good player, but
let's remember too. Content won SMI. Right now, technically, when they're at full strength, they're the only team that has beaten Double Cap. Or no, they lost to Double Cap in the finals. I'm done.
Double Cap won.
But like, still, they were the runner-up at SMI, right? So we just gotta keep that in mind. Like, Like content.
Vantage can prove me wrong and show that he's a good main tank. Like I'm not saying he's not.
I think.
But from what I've seen, he doesn't look fantastic.
Like
He looks very
Vantage's problems are twofold. One, his team doesn't know how to play around him. Oh, threefold. Thank you. I forgot about that one. He has threefold problems. One, his team doesn't play that well around him, which is like a real thing. Thing number two is that he has an ego, so he recognizes that, and so he molds about it. Probably, that's my guess. But he does have an ego. It's a thing. It's a thing people talk about. I'm not gonna really go. I'm not harping on it at all. I'm not going to. And then the third thing is that, like, I think this has been a tendency with Vantage for a long time, and it's really helped him climb in ladder, for example. But he's a very aggressive main tank who doesn't understand necessarily, like, he understands his own personal resources really, really well, but it appears that he doesn't understand his team's resources that well, and so he'll push without the team being ready sometimes.
Wait, how do we know Vantage again?
Like, I know Vantage. He's in Marsupial.
Yeah, he's on Marsupial.
Yeah, I knew who Vantage was, like, for a while, but like, was he in League 0 or like last year or something?
He was in League 0. He
How
played
do
for
I know him?
OTW.
Okay, got it.
All right. To shift.
We gotta do predictions for the GCG game, and then a tier list if you want.
And then we can have predictions for next week as well.
Yeah.
So tier list, then predictions.
Yeah. We'll go around the horn red first.
Whoa. Let's do the prediction. Let's do the prediction for GC.
Okay, I have all of them lined up already. GCG versus
not
MI6.
all of them.
All of them, just GC. Okay.
Yeah, because that's the one that's this week.
Well, they're all this week.
They're all this week.
No, the one that's still in the week we're a part of at the moment.
Okay.
It's
red.
Week of games.
Red. Just go, red.
I hate all of you. All right. At the moment, I have GZG winning. I'm gonna be honest. I have it 3-2.
That's fair.
And the reason is that
Shin's coaching is fucking godly.
We're gonna talk about the negatives first.
Okay, dude.
Like, it's not your fault. It's like it's just the negatives, right? So like the reality with the GZG thing is that you played against Content last week, and Content didn't have a lot of their structure together, and they kind of just gave up on the third map. The game-winning map. Sorry, the fourth one. Going into this week, MI6, yeah, they got thrashed by us, but MI6 obviously had made some attempts to learn the meta. They have a very competent coaching staff. Their individual talent is not in question whatsoever. I think the biggest question mark for them is Crake at main tank. But I'll be honest, like the comp can be forgiving as long as Crake doesn't feed. So, like, MI6 is in a really good spot. I think when I look at GZG and I look at the way they've played in the past, there are areas of individual talent I have questions about, and more specifically, the bigger issue, synergy. And the synergy question is something that needs to be worked on. It does not look good from scrims that I have been a part of. It didn't even look that good against Content. So, like, these are all reasons that I'm worried, but I ultimately think that, like, MI6 has a tendency to boom, and I also think that GGG has been working really hard. Shin coming on the coaching staff means something to me.
Yes.
How much
father-like approval.
How much it means to me will time will tell. But
shit.
Yeah. So, like, if they win this week and then they roll into next week, I'll take that more seriously. But there's just a lot of things that they gotta work on. So it's actually a really hard map. It's a really hard match to call. But I have GZG 3-2.
Camel.
I'm biased, bud.
Well, obviously you are. Obviously you think we're gonna win.
Everyone's biased. What am I looking at, Monster? Can we just admire this? Like,
no, we cannot.
No, we have to continue on. Just pick a score.
I'm aware.
Yeah, I am.
I really.
Wait.
Pick a score. You're the one who's trying to hurry us. Let's go.
Dude, 3-2 us.
Well, I have something to say about that.
3-1
hang
if
on,
we
I'm going around
3-1 if we pull our shit together, but as of right now, 3-2.
Okay. So I think that it's gonna be a 3-1. I think it might take another scrim for me to make sure that it's a 3-1, but I'm pretty confident that we can come through. I know that we're gonna take the dub, or I hope that we take the dub, but I know that we're gonna take the dub because mindset. But our shit's coming together. I don't know if we'll see the full extent of that this week
Probably.
or for the MI6 game. Don't go in with that mindset, bitch.
Well, just the full extent
I don't
of
know
it.
if it's the full extent
It's
of it. I don't know
fine,
if the full
just
extent of
keep
it is
going.
going to come in the MI6 game, but I think that we're heading towards a pretty good spot for the double cap game.
Oh yeah, we played double cap.
Well, I just want to say, I want to say something about MI6 specifically. Because I don't know much about GZG honestly, but I know it's Kyla's team and Shinsei's team, so I kind of have to be like they're gonna win.
You don't have to, be honest.
Yeah, you don't have to, man.
But no, okay.
I'm literally picking them on the slimmest of margins. Like
I
really,
think
it's hard.
MI6 is just kind of like suck. Like from
True. Yeah, they have C-Man.
Well, there goes his chance of getting drafted.
I don't know.
Hey, I'm impartial. Give
It
me
is
if
like
you
that,
want,
like
fucking
God,
it could be
nobody's gonna
wrong,
want you
like
after this.
because Ren and I did play the game against them, but I just felt like they didn't understand Shadow Dive.
And I should say this. From everything I've heard about MI6, and I mean, I'm not gonna leak anything because like they're part of the a lot of players on that are part of the marsupial family. From everything I heard, there was a lot of mitigating factors in terms of like just them and just unfortunate stuff. Like I don't know if like week 1's a great representation of
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
accidentally got a Smurf.
Because
But
Cap won against fucking.
Well, I mean, it's not just the Smurf, right?
Obligation.
Just like you know how team environments can be, right? Like it just sounded like there was a lot of personality stuff going on, like a lot of things that they're working out. And it sound like I'm not trying to like so give them a chance, right? Like I think MI6 from a talent sample, like I don't like counting MI6's 0-3 loss to mom mentality against them because I think there was a lot of stuff that contributed to that I think could be fixed this week. And so I'm looking more at individual talent, and I think MI6 has more, but I think GZG doesn't have any of the personal issues that are as bad as what was going on with MI6. I don't know the details. I don't pretend to know details. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just trying to be fair with this prediction. So
I don't know. I think there's a lot of tilt factors on this team.
that is
And
probably accurate.
I think there are some specific players, not gonna say who, that are like seem
Talkix.
I don't know what to say, but
Toxic.
I'm
Say
not
your
toxic,
prediction.
that's-
We'll
Just
go
say
with
the
that.
I don't know.
Just say the
I think
prediction.
3-2 GZG too,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't know.
I'm hoping this game is close. I think it should be.
GZG is kind of a wild card for me right now.
Spongy, are you here?
Yes, but I don't really know that much about
Yeah,
Inter.
he's not.
All right,
Monster's
I'll put you
turning
guys
blue.
all
I haven't
excited.
talked in the past
Monster,
40
do
minutes.
you have predictions?
Oh, okay. So listen, guys.
He's like doubly biased.
I'm not doubly violent.
Dude, hurry
You're
up. We don't have
sick.
time for this.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time.
No, we do.
No, we don't.
No, we
This
don't.
is beautiful. Let's
10
watch
minutes.
All right, I'm skipping over him. Jerry, what's your
No,
prediction?
no.
Someone's still speaking though.
No.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay,
Monster.
Ignore
fine.
him, please.
No,
Okay,
this is
so listen.
awesome.
Oh my gosh.
No, let's wait.
Please just say a prediction while we wait for him to
It's-
set the stupidity up.
MI6.
Wait, I'm gonna go
they
play
have...
Combat Blitz.
Oh.
3
Oh, bye bye.
Because Blitz won't. Like,
I
Blitz
would say
told me.
3-2
Alright,
GCG.
bye.
MI6 has C-Man 229, and they have the rat from Ratatouille.
Remy.
Remy,
Oh, there
yeah.
you go.
I'm saying 3-2 GCG, maybe 3-1,
Okay.
but mostly 3-2.
Okay.
Mostly 3-2.
Do we want to go through the other games for this week real quick?
Yeah.
Or for this upcoming week?
Very quick.
So
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
so
like,
another-
I got it.
I
next
already
week
have
you
them lined up.
No,
I'm
we should
literally
probably do
looking at
tier
it.
list.
So am I.
Capitalism. Capitalism versus events. DC versus GZG. Obligation versus mob mentality.
Yeah,
CC versus MI6.
I've got them all already.
Really quickly, I think capitalism wins 3-1 over the bench. I think,
Okay.
no offense, I'm sorry, DC 3-1 over GZG.
That's fair. We'll prove it.
Understandable.
Wait, who? Wait,
Actually,
who's
I
playing
don't know why
GZG?
I'm saying 3-1. Sorry, 3-0. I can't, dude.
We'll prove
Like-
ourselves. Don't worry.
Wait,
Alright.
who do you guys play?
DC.
They play DC next week after this
See?
game.
The best
Double
team in the
cap.
league currently.
They
I
haven't
think it's
dropped.
gonna be a 3-1.
You think they're gonna get a map?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ye of little faith.
bro. fight me. All right.
Okay.
What are we, Exodus? Lol.
Continue on Monster.
No, we're
Monster.
Exodus. After Dark.
Obligation versus Mom mentality. After watching the film on Obligation, bro, zero hesitation, easy 3-0, like easy 3-0.
All right.
I'm back in the lineup, baby.
Content MI6.
My off tank is actually able to make it to more
The
than one
ego's
scrim per
returned.
week. Oh, bro,
Ego is
we
back,
out
baby.
here. We
It is
out
back.
here. We
Content
out
versus
here.
MI6.
Yeah, I got MI6 3-1.
Camel.
My turn.
Us versus DC.
Y'all shouldn't predict that one.
All right, we'll
Yeah, I
leave
don't
that
think
one.
we should predict that one.
It's a loss.
Shut the fuck up.
Because you guys are gonna be impacted hard by your win or loss
Monster,
against
prediction.
MI, bro.
Monster, can you give me one?
Shut up.
Monster, what's your prediction?
No.
GZG versus DC.
You have to.
Let me talk. Now,
Monster Sugar High.
DC. They look super strong. They look one of the strongest in the league, right? I'm gonna believe 3-0 GZG.
Sip.
Easy clap.
Jer?
Go.
What's
GZG versus DC.
DC?
Double cap.
Double
The best
cap.
team in the league right now. Go.
Double cap.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
I don't know. I don't know much about intermediate. I say double cap would win, like
What's the score?
3-1.
Okay, Nova.
I 3-1.
He already said 1 to 3. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
3-1.
Oh, actually,
Cap
I
versus
changed mine.
BNC.
3-2 DC.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't care.
Next
You
game.
already said your first.
Oh.
Cap versus bench. Kyle.
Cap.
Listen,
No.
I have
say
a question.
3-0.
You listen. You can edit this out real quick.
No.
But
Wait
can
till
we like
after. I've got like
put a
6
block
minutes.
Wait
over
until
Monster's
after.
face?
I'd love to.
The whole. I don't want to like watch the.
Yeah, me neither. Sponge is
probably will.
undecided. I'm gonna skip over Monster because he's
Spongy just
retarded.
died.
Nova
What?
Cap versus bench.
Cat versus
I-
bench.
Uncool.
Okay, here's the thing. Capitalism, right, is gonna be like, they're just gonna take the legs off of the bench, and bench is just gonna like be a tiny,
Oh,
tiny
oh.
boy bench.
So
we're
3-0.
saying this bench belongs to IKEA. That's what I'm hearing.
It's a floor.
They're like,
So
Basically
but they're
Swiss.
not like on the floor, right? Like, let's give them like
oh my god, just please.
when
give
they
a
get
score,
3-0'd, they're like
please.
on the floor. When they get 3-1, they're like a tiny bench boy, but they still have some hope. I give them 3-1. Cap.
Jer. Cap versus
I-
bench.
Cap wins like 3-0, 3-1, 3-0.
3-0 it is. Kyle Obligation versus Mob Mentality.
Mob 3.
I think 3-0.
Yeah, 3-1. I'm sticking.
Sponge undecided. Nova Obligation versus Mob Mentality.
It's actually a tough one. I'm gonna go 3-1.
Once you guys went to the
3-1
VOD, it will
Mob.
be a lot easier.
Jer Obligation versus Mob Mentality.
Nah, it's 3-0.
Cradling his bottle. Look at.
Okay,
not
skipping over Jer. Content versus
What? No,
MI6.
no. I'm thinking. All right.
Did you get
Mob
mine?
mentality and obligation. They're both good teams.
Please just guess. man.
No.
I'd
Wrong.
say 3-2.
In
Oh,
favor
like
of Mob
4 minutes.
Obligation? Okay.
Yeah. I think they
Wow.
can do it.
Camel
do not
Content versus
watch it, Jer.
MI6.
Content?
I don't.
MI6? MI6 3-2. No.
I
Yeah,
had
3-2.
the same thought. Think that they're gonna take it to a map 5.
I'm gonna say, content 3-2.
Really? Okay.
Cause
If they have
yeah.
a roster, maybe.
Jer.
Skip.
What's wrong with Monster?
Sick.
Yes.
Alright, that's all of them.
Okay.
Monster.
Okay.
It's-
All right.
He's
So I
We're
think
wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up.
yeah. I think we covered
Okay,
everything.
We covered literally everything.
frozen.
LMAO.
Well,
Just
I'll
do-
end it this. Thank you everybody for watching. This has been Exodus After Dark. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Love you.
Later.
Bye bye.